Is up, everybody? It is Rust Belt Perspective here. Today is Saturday, November 11th, 2023. Happy Veterans Day. And today I'm going to be talking about the 2024 United States Senate election in Ohio, focusing more so on potential candidates for Democrat Sherrod Brown, the incumbent senator. Ohio, of course, they do have the popular Democrat in Sherrod Brown, as I just said, who is seeking his fourth term in office there. But Ohio, of course, since Trump has taken over the Republican Party, has very much shifted to being a Republican leaning state by about 8 points. You saw back in 2012, uh, when Sherrod Brown was elected to his second term, Obama federally still had a good enough grip on the state to win. But of course, in 2016, Trump, with his working class appeal, he completely shifted that big time by over 10 points, and he maintained that in 2020 despite his unpopularity. And then on the federally again in 2022, Ohio voted for J.D. Vance by 6 points into his first term in office there in the other Senate seat. So, Sherrod Brown, with popularity versus the state's partisan lean, calls for a competitive race, and it is a very important one that I believe is the tipping point of the Senate, because now that Joe Manchin is out, there is no doubt West Virginia is flipping to be a safe Republican state, while as long as the Republicans can hold on to Texas and Florida, that's 50 seats. They only need a 51st seat to clinch a majority, and Ohio is their best shot at that 51st seat. So, who could be challenging Sherrod Brown here? There are three main Republicans that are fighting for it, and they all do have a fair chance to get that Republican nomination. Frank LaRose, their Secretary of State, he is kind of your most central one of the three. He's not like an extremist by any means. And during the 2020 election, LaRose, as the Secretary of State of Ohio, said there were not any major irregularities despite President Trump's claims of fraud. Now, had Ohio been one of those states that Trump narrowly lost, and then LaRose came out and said, no, this election was good, that could have been very bad news for him himself. As you know, Trump would have viciously attacked him like he did so many other statewide officials that were in this position when the Republicans narrowly lost. But because Ohio did go to Trump, it was not as big of a deal that LaRose defended the integrity of the election. Then you have Matt Dolan, the state senator, who did try to run in 2022, but ultimately did not get Trump's endorsement. That went to J.D. Vance, and J.D. Vance won. Dolan isn't really an extremist or a centrist. Yes, he's voted for Donald Trump in 2016 and 2020, but he doesn't he's not like 100% a big-time Trumper or nothing. Whereas Bernie Moreno, that is your furthest right of the three. He has the endorsement of J.D. Vance, the other United States Senator from Ohio. And the thing is, Moreno, he has never been an office holder before, unlike the other two. But Trump doesn't necessarily care too much about that. He has endorsed plenty of non-office holders before. He did that with Dr. Oz in Pennsylvania last year. He did that with Herschel Walker in Georgia last year, and he's done it a number of other times before 2022. So, the big question is, which of these three will Donald Trump endorse? Because that will have a large influence on who wins this primary. Because, as I showed you, Trump swung the state big time in 16 and 20 to win it, and he appeals big time to the working class there of Ohio. But without the endorsement of Trump, which of these three on paper is the best to beat Sherrod Brown? Well, across the board, in the Republican primary, Frank LaRose does win, but you see there are a lot of undecideds, and those undecideds are likely, a lot of them are probably likely holding out for who Trump will potentially endorse. Will Trump go with the furthest right guy who is most loyal to him, that being Bernie Moreno, or will he go with the centrist who has actually spoken against him? Well, not necessarily against him, but against the election integrity. That would be Frank LaRose. Or will he kind of meet in the middle and go with Matt Dolan on that? It's interesting to see where that goes. But right now, on paper, without Trump endorsement, LaRose is on top. And you look at the polls between Sherrod Brown and these three, Frank LaRose does the best job. He, in the most recent poll here between them all, you see Sherrod Brown beats Bernie Moreno by 3. He beats Dolman by 1, but he is tied with Frank LaRose. LaRose has a little bit more backing of Ohio than the other two. And then there's another one where you see LaRose gets 39% of Ohio support here, where Dolan only gets 38 and Moreno 33. And then another one here where Moreno ties while the other two lose. So clearly, on both the primary standpoint and LaRose versus Brown standpoint, LaRose has the best support. Question is that who Trump is going to back after LaRose defended the 2020 election that Donald Trump to this day strongly insists was fraudulent? Because Sherrod Brown, he is popular, like I've said. On these same polls that it's really close here between Brown and the Republican candidate, you have Trump winning these polls by like 7, 8, 12 points. So Brown swings this state big time. It calls for a highly competitive race. And another thing, too, is the other night, Ohio, they very much voted in support of their abortion rights, which is something that Donald Trump and many other Republicans stand against. Frank LaRose is more of a centrist. Maybe he will be one that won't be against the idea of an abortion right, which that could be great for a generic ballot of LaRose versus Brown, but will that be great at a Republican primary? Absolutely not. Will that be great as far as Trump's endorsement goes? Absolutely not. So the question is, can the Republicans get it right? Even if you do get an endorsement of Moreno or Dolan, would that be able to beat Sherrod Brown? Could LaRose beat Sherrod Brown? With him seeming to be the best candidate to do so, can LaRose get Trump's endorsement? Can he even win the primary without Trump's endorsement? There's a lot of potential moving pieces here in the most important race of the 2024 United States Senate cycle, at least in my opinion. So, give me your thoughts in the comments. What do you think? I've kind of shared my ideas and potential outcomes. I want to hear what you guys think in the comments. Please like and subscribe. Join my Discord server if you've not already. This is Rust Belt Perspective, signing out.